Before any missionary or preacher set foot in the Oregon country, one man had already blazed a path, not only across the mountains, but into the heart of faith on the frontier. His name was Jedediah Smith, explorer, trapper, and man of deep Christian conviction. In the 1820s, Jedediah Smith became the first American to reach California and Oregon by land. He charted deserts and rivers unknown to maps, and wherever he went, he carried his Bible, reading it by firelight, trusting God to guide his way. Smith's quiet faith made a lasting impression on those he met, trappers, traders, and native tribes alike. He spoke often of the Great Spirit and of a holy book that revealed his words. After his death in 1831, tales of the man with the Book of Heaven spread across the Columbia Plateau. Among the Nez Perce and Flathead people, the stories took root, stirring a question that would soon send four men on a journey no one could forget. For many moons, they traveled eastward, across mountains and rivers, through hardship and hunger, seeking those who could give them the Book of Heaven. At last, they reached St. Louis. There they met General William Clark, who had once led the expedition to the Pacific. The chiefs told him their purpose. They sought the Book of Heaven and teachers to bring it to their people.
We came to you over the trail of many moons from the setting sun to see if you could give us the Book of Heaven, that our people may know the Great Spirit and live.
Clark was deeply moved, but there were no missionaries to send. Soon, illness struck. 2 of the men died there. The others perished on the way home. None would see their people again. Their mission seemed to end in sorrow, but their story would soon awaken a nation. Their story traveled eastward, published in the Christian Advocate and Journal in 1833. The plea of the 4 chiefs stirred hearts across the nation. Congregations wept. Mission boards prayed. And soon, men and women pledged their lives to carry the Book of Heaven to the land of the setting sun. The cry of the 4 chiefs, for truth, for light, for the Book of Heaven, became a call to action. One who heard the call was Jason Lee, a Canadian-born Methodist preacher with a burden for the frontier. In 1834, Jason Lee led a small band of missionaries across the continent, a 2,000-mile odyssey through desert and mountain, until they reached the Willamette Valley of present-day Oregon. There, Lee founded the first Protestant mission west of the Rockies, a school, a church, and a community that would shape the future of the Oregon country. In 1838, the message that began with the four chiefs' journey east found its way to the river valleys of Oregon. Jason Lee, now a seasoned missionary, sent his nephew Daniel Lee, together with Reverend Henry Perkins, to plant a mission at Waskapam, the Dalles. There, at the gateway of the Columbia, they built a home of prayer and learning, a place where the light of the gospel would meet the heartbeat of the land.
If you ask me question, have you seen Jason Lee, the first missionary? I answer, yes, I saw him. Some ask, how old are you, White Swan? And I answer, I am 86. I was old enough to understand everything, and this missionary, he baptized me at that time. And from that time I joined the church camp meeting at Waskopam. While Lee was preaching, the Indian chief sat smoking, not caring to hear the gospel. 3 or 4 days while he was preaching, all women and chiefs felt different, just like something had melted and hot had come down, and they throw away their tomahawks and caps, war bonnets, and fall down and ask God to forgive them. People were surprised to see what kind of spirit came down, and then they look at each other and all see the tears run down each other's faces, and then all fall down and worship God. Truly, this missionary brought light to the dark place for the Indian. That is the way this first missionary worked for the Indians. White Swan is true witness. I saw and heard him myself. Truly, this missionary brought light to the dark place for the Indian.
This evening, as the sun set behind the western ridges, I took out my Bible, now worn greatly by travel. I read from the Psalms, Thy word is a lamp unto my feet, and a light unto my path. The verse carried my thoughts to the purpose of my life. I began this journey seeking beaver and trade, but I cannot shake the thought that providence guides me for more than worldly gain. The natives hunger for something they have not yet named. Should men of God come to this country, I trust the Lord will prepare their way. My body is wearied, but my spirit is strengthened by the certainty that the wilderness, vast though it is, lies open before the plans of the Almighty.